The Honda Civic Type R. 3 words that ignite excitement among car enthusiasts everywhere. Over its nearly 30-year history, the Type R has gone from a niche JDM icon to one of the most celebrated hot hatches in the world. But what makes the Type R so special? How did it go from being a track-focused machine in the 90s to the global phenomenon it is today? Let's break it down, generation by generation, and see how Honda crafted this front-wheel drive masterpiece. Before we get to the video, if you have a Type R or any Civic, click the link down below to pick up some new wheels for your ride. The Civic Type R story begins in 1997 with the EK9, a car that introduced the now iconic red Honda badge and the Type R philosophy. Honda had already built a reputation for the performance with the NSX Type R and Integra Type R. This was the first time they applied their racing know-how to the humble Civic. Under the hood of the EK9 was the legendary V16V engine, a 1.6-liter naturally aspirated inline-4 that revved to a staggering 8,400 RPM. It made 185 horsepower, which probably doesn't sound like much, but keep in mind the EK9 Type R weighed 2,425 pounds. That gave it a power-to-weight ratio on par with cars like the Mazda RX-7 and Nissan Silvia. The EK9 wasn't about straight-line speed, though. No, Honda gave it a seam-welded chassis for increased rigidity, a helical limited slip differential for better traction, and a close ratio 5-speed manual gearbox. You combine all of that with the Type R's razor-sharp handling, connected-feeling driving experience, and you had a car that could absolutely dominate on the circuit. Unfortunately for the rest of the world, the EK9 was a Japan-only affair. It became an instant legend among JDM enthusiasts, and its rarity only added to its mystique. So let's flash forward a few years to 2001 when Honda introduced the EP3 Type R, a car that divided opinion among enthusiasts. Built in Swindon, England, the EP3 was the first Civic Type R sold in Europe, but its personality was very different than the EK9. The EP3 was powered by the K20A engine, a 2-liter inline-4 making 212 horsepower and featuring Honda's iconic VTEC technology. It also introduced the iVTEC variable valve timing technology, which improved both power and efficiency. The K20A was paired with a 6-speed manual transmission, and Honda retained the limited slip differential to keep the front wheels in check when cornering. The EP3 was quicker and more refined than the EK9, but some fans felt it lacked the rawness of its predecessor. Still, it earned a strong following in Europe and became a staple of the hot hatch scene over there. The JDM version of the EP3 came with a more powerful engine and additional features, continuing Honda's trend of making its best cars Japan exclusive. Jumping forward 6 more years, in 2007, Honda split the Civic Type R lineup into 2 distinct models, the FD2 sedan for Japan and the FN2 hatchback for Europe. Let's start with the FD2 because this is where things get really interesting. It was a 4-door sedan, a departure from the Type R's hatchback roots, but it was an absolute beast. It featured an upgraded K28 engine making 222 horsepower and a chassis that was longer, wider, and stiffer than the EK9 or EP3. Honda equipped the FD2 with Brembo brakes, a first for the Type R, and its handling was nothing short of sublime. Meanwhile, over in Europe, the FN2 hatchback, let's just say it wasn't as beloved. While the FN2 did share the same K20 engine as the FD2, it was built on a different platform with a torsion bar rear suspension setup, which hurt its handling compared to the FD2's independent setup. The FN2 also weighed more and felt less focused and dialed, making it the least Type R of the Type R lineup so far. After a brief hiatus, Honda brought back the Type R in 2015 with the FK2, and this time they went turbo. Powered by a 2-liter turbocharged K20 C1 engine, the FK2 made 306 horsepower and 295 feet-pound of torque, making it the most powerful Civic Type R ever. It was also the first Type R to be sold globally, giving American enthusiasts their first chance to buy a Type R straight from the Honda dealership. The turbocharged engine delivered massive low-end torque, a welcome change for fans used to VTEC engines that needed to be wrung out to deliver the power. The FK2 also featured adaptive suspension, massive Brembo brake calipers as expected, and an aggressive aero package designed to maximize downforce. It was fast, 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds, and a Nürburgring lap time of 7:56.3, faster than many of its contemporaries in the sports car market. However, the FK2 was criticized for being a little bit too hardcore for the street. It had stiff suspension and aggressive styling, which made it feel a little bit more like a track car you could drive on the road than an everyday hot hatch. Now, peak Type R, the FK8, the Civic Type R that took everything Honda has learned from the FK2 and refined it into one of the best hot hatches of all time. Powered by an updated version of the K20 C1, it still made 306 horsepower and 295 feet-pound of torque, but the FK8 was about a lot more than just numbers. It featured a multi-link rear suspension, replacing the torsion beam of older models, giving it much better handling and ride quality. Honda also added adaptive dampers that could adjust to different driving modes and road conditions, making the FK8 more comfortable for daily driving while still being razor sharp on track. Now, the aero on the FK8 was insane. Every vent, every scoop, every wing was functional, contributing to one of the most advanced aero packages ever put on a front-wheel drive street car. The FK8 became a Nürburgring record breaker, lapping the green hell in 7:43.80, cementing its place as one of the fastest front-wheel drive cars in the world. The FK8 also brought the Type R back to the US, where it became an instant hit despite its polarizing looks and hatchback design. Which brings us to the latest generation, the FL5 Type R. Launched in 2023, the FL5 built on the FK8's formula, but with a more mature design and even sharper performance. The K20C1 now makes 315 horsepower and 310 feet-pound of torque, making it the most powerful Civic ever made. The chassis is stiffer, the suspension is more redefined, and the interior is a step up in quality, with a new digital display reminiscent of the S2000 and ultra-comfortable Alcantara seats. The FL5 also featured improved aero, including a more subtle rear wing, still provides plenty of downforce without looking as over-the-top as the FK8. Honda's goal with the FL5 was to create a car that is just as capable on track as it is on the street, and by all accounts, they've absolutely nailed it. Reviews have praised its balance, precision, and ability to make any driver feel like a pro. The Type R isn't just another hot hatch, though. It's an icon. It represents Honda's commitment to making performance cars that are accessible, fun, and relentlessly engineered in the pursuit of perfection. Here's why it stands out. First off, we got to talk V10. The high-revving nature of Honda's engines, especially in the earlier Type Rs, is unmatched. There's something about screaming to an 8,400 RPM redline and feeling that V10 kick in. Now, Honda has also consistently proven that front-wheel drive can be just as thrilling as rear or all-wheel drive when done properly, and the Type R's handling prowess is testament to that. It's got a limited slip differential, and it's got the most dialed front-wheel drive handling you can possibly buy. From the EK9 to the FL5, every Civic Type R has been built with one thing in mind, and that's performance. Whether it's a seam-welded chassis or Nürburgring-developed suspension, these cars are meant to be driven hard on a road course. And while the early Type Rs were JDM exclusives, the FK2 and beyond brought the magic to the rest of the world. So let's sum it all up. The Civic Type R has come a long way since 1997. From the raw, lightweight EK9 to the refined, turbocharged, mature even FL5, it's a car that continues to evolve while staying true to its Honda roots. Whether you're a fan of the screaming VTEC engines of old or the turbocharged engineering of today, there's no denying the Type R's impact on car culture. So is the Civic Type R worth the hype? Absolutely. It's a celebration of what makes driving fun. And as long as Honda keeps making them, the Type R will remain a legend and just keep getting better. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment down below on what car we should talk about in the next one, and I'll see you very soon.